The American heavyweight boxer is on life support. I'm going to say it again. The American heavyweight boxer is on life support. You have the WBC champion, Deontay Wilder, who's been a champion for about 3 years, 3.5 years, right? Who do you have after Deontay Wilder to carry that torch? Who do you have after Deontay Wilder? Right? That's a U.S. heavyweight boxer. Deontay Wilder just knocked out another American heavyweight, Dominic Breazeale. You know, everyone knew that Dominic Breazeale coming into the fight, that he was tailor-made for Deontay Wilder because Dominic Breazeale has no defense. He blocks punches with his face. Slow feet, very slow. Just tailor-made for Deontay Wilder. So his career as a heavyweight boxer, I would say right now, is at a standstill. If not, he'll be a complete journeyman, and just, you know, forever fighting on undercards or being a sparring partner for UK fighters who are gearing up for a title shot. But yeah, who do you have after Deontay Wilder? Right, Dominic Breazeale's out of the picture. You got Gerald Big Baby Miller, who pretty much ruined his career because he failed a drug test three times with 3 banned substances. Pretty much unheard of, and he only got 6 months suspension, but his career is pretty much tarnished, right? So outside of that, you got no one. Those 2 guys I just named, Jarrell Miller and Dominic Breazeale, those are not heavyweight contenders at all. All right. So the ilk of heavyweight boxers today is on life support compared to the 90s, the 80s, where boxing was at its renaissance, and before that. So that's the reason why Mike Tyson has never co-signed, since he's retired, has never co-signed a heavyweight boxer from America. He doesn't like the boxers from America. You know, he's not fond of Deontay Wilder's style. You know, he says that Deontay Wilder hasn't fought anybody. You know, that clip one of my subscribers sent me was actually from last year. It's pretty old, but I've always wanted to talk about this topic anyway. But Mike Tyson, his disdain towards Deontay Wilder is a reflection of the lack, and it's a reflection of the lack of respect of American heavyweight boxers. Americans do not respect boxing. It's just that simple. A boxing in the U.S. is a niche sport. It's a niche sport. It's not a mainstream sport. We know this. You know, Mike Tyson only comes one in a lifetime. So since he's retired, he has never found an equal or somebody he can co-sign that's like him as a heavyweight boxer. You know, he hasn't. And even outside of his weight class, he's never really co-signed an American boxer. Besides, well, I can think off the top of my head, he's only co-signed people like Manny Pacquiao, right? And other, you know, lower weight classes and stuff like that. But outside of that, you know, Mike Tyson has never found his reflection as a boxer because, you know, Mike Tyson, you know, growing up, he ate, slept boxing. That's what he did. He ate, slept, breathed boxing. Americans right now, boxing is considered a fallback sport. Matter of fact, it's like you're dating a woman and you have a side chick and another side chick. It's basically your rebound sport. Just in case I get injured in basketball and I get hurt in football, let me try boxing. Right? And that's the same category what happened to Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was a guy who actually fell into the sport of boxing because his first priority or his first actual professional sporting was basketball. So he liked basketball more. He took that sport very seriously. He got injured, he got hurt. Then he went into boxing. So this is what a lot of these guys do. The same thing with Dominic Brazil. He was a football guy. He got hurt in playing football, and he went back. He started boxing. So a lot of these guys who are fighters, American heavyweight fighters, they fall into the sport because the other sports they were in, they weren't successful. Or they got hurt, and they take up the sport of boxing. They start boxing late in their 20s. When realistically, these fighters who are fighting today, they've been fighting since they were babies, like a Floyd, right? So these guys, they start late, and that's why you see the result of what you see today in American heavyweight boxers. It's the lack of competition, the lack of skill set, the lack of taking the sport seriously. You know, and that's what you see. And the ranking system right now, you see that most of these fighters are not from the U.S. Most of these heavyweight boxers are not from the U.S. When you look at fighters from the U.K., like the Anthony Joshuas of the world, like the Dillian Whytes of the world, right? The Derek Chisoras, you know, all these fighters are not from the U.S. They're from the U.K., European countries, etc. Because they take boxing more serious over there. Boxing is their first priority, not their third or fourth priority. It's not a fallback sport. It's their first priority, so they take it seriously. Right? So that's what I believe why Mike Tyson has a disdain towards Deontay Wilder. It's a reflection of the fact that American heavyweight boxers are on life support. There's nobody he wants to co-sign. I mean, you could say Mike Tyson's a hater, whatever the case may be. It's really, again, it's bigger than Mike Tyson being a hater. It's has a lot to do with the lack of talent for American heavyweight boxers, and the fact that athletes from America don't take boxing seriously. They don't even take it as their first priority sport. It's their third or fourth sport they didn't want to take up, just in case they need to take up a sport. If basketball or football or baseball fails, I'll see if I can go into boxing or maybe MMA, right? So I mean, that's what it is, man. That's what I think it is, at least from Mike Tyson's perspective. Because let's say, for instance, Deontay Wilder fights Anthony Joshua, and again, I think it'll be a close fight. For me, if once Deontay Wilder and AJ face off, it'll be a 50-50 fight. But let's just say hypothetically they do fight, right? And Deontay Wilder loses, right? There's a rematch clause. Deontay Wilder loses again, right? And Anthony Joshua is the champ. That belt, the WBC belt, and all the other titles, WBA, IBF, WBO, once AJ or somebody from the UK takes those titles, America will not see those titles in about 10 years. That's the gap, the talent gap that America has versus other countries like the UK. There's a plethora of UK talent coming up amongst the rankings in the heavyweight division, right? That are coming right after Anthony Joshua because they take the sport seriously. But once that title comes out of the waist of Deontay Wilder, for at least the next 10 years, if not more, an American heavyweight champion will not see that title in a long ass time. Those are just facts. So that's the reason why, the WBC and Deontay Wilder are trying to hold on to that title for such a long time because they know that belt will be gone for at least 10 years, if not more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've seen it with Klitschko. We've seen it with the Klitschko era, right? Because the talent pool of American heavyweight boxers is on life support. It's just that simple. So, all right. So those are my thoughts about Mike Tyson's disdain towards Deontay Wilder. And again, I think it's just bigger than Deontay Wilder. It's the lack of American heavyweight talent and the fact that American athletes, especially black athletes, they don't take boxing seriously. All right. Those are my thoughts about that, family. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, Chauncey signing out. Peace.